Assalamu alaikum. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. We're going to do a review of chapter 18 of the Autobiography of Malcolm X as told to Alex Haley, inshallah. Title of chapter 18 is El Hajj Malik El Shabazz. Chapter starts with Malcolm talking about being a guest speaker of the state of Arabia. He talked about his trip, and he says, quote, Malcolm says, quote, I actually pressed my hands against the earth where the great prophets had trod 4,000 years before, end quote. People in Arabia thought Malcolm was Cassius Clay, Muhammad Ali. At this time, young Cassius's career had captured the imagination and the support of the entire dark world as far as colored people. Colored people all over the world supported Muhammad Ali. People in Arabia, Malcolm drove to Mount Arafat and Mount Mina. Malcolm said the Orthodox Muslim prayers caused his big toe to swell, just the posture of those prayers. Malcolm says the Muslim customs no longer seem strange. Eating and drinking with others, sharing food, eating with his hands and drinking from the same glass, those all seem normal to him. And he talks about a lot of Muslims smoking cigarettes. Malcolm noticed a older grouping where people of their own kind group together. A color grouping where people of their own kind group together. This is in Arabia. Malcolm was told that this was the largest Hajj in history. Malcolm planned to have a working vocabulary in Arabic before his next Hajj. He didn't like having to depend on others to translate for him. He says, quote, never before in my life had I felt so deaf and dumb as during the times when no interpreter was with me to tell me what was being said around me or about me or even to me by other Muslims, end quote. Malcolm thought about the potential millions of converts of Islam with the proper public relations. Malcolm told Muslims from Mecca to Africa about the crime suffered by the black man in America. Malcolm told the dark-skinned Muslims that in America you could be called a Negro and you could be beaten because of your complexion. When Malcolm was asked about his split with Elijah Muhammad, Malcolm says, quote, I preferred not to elaborate upon our differences in the interest of preserving the American black man's unity, end quote. Regarding the perception of the American Negro around the world, Malcolm says, quote, the American Negro has no conception of the hundreds of millions of other non-whites concerned for him. He has no conception of their feeling of brotherhood for and with him, end quote. Malcolm believed, quote, the topmost requisite for any Negro leader in America ought to be extensive traveling in the non-white lands of this earth, and the travel should include many conferences with ranking men of those lands, end quote. Wanted you to be diverse. He said leaders should be diverse. Malcolm felt that the Negro in America was so confused and divided that he doesn't himself know what his cause is. Malcolm felt that Negroes in America were so confused and divided that he doesn't himself know what his cause is, I believe. My pen bled on that one. Malcolm felt that Africans would be embarrassed to help a brother to show that no evidence... Malcolm felt that Africans would be embarrassed to help a brother that shows no evidence that he wants to help and refuse to cooperate with it in his own interest.